Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. So today we get to take a look at the brand new 2024 Lexus TX500h F Sport. Huge shout out to Hendrick Lexus Northlake for providing this all new 3-row SUV for me today. Definitely take a look at the website. That link is down in the description. This TX is finished off in Celestial Silver. Its MSRP is just over $72,000. And this is powered by a 2.4 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. It's paired to the hybrid system along with a 6-speed automatic transmission and pumps out 366 horsepower, 339 pound-feet of torque. That power sent through the full-time 4-wheel drive system, propelling this 4,900-pound SUV from 0 to 60 in as quick as 5.7 seconds. It also has a fuel capacity of 17.2 gallons. You'll expect to see around 27 miles per gallon in the city, 28 out on the highway. This also has a wheelbase of 116.1 inches. Its overall length is 203.5. It has a width of 78.3, a height of 70.1, and its ground clearance measures in at 8 inches. As we move on to the exterior styling now for the all-new TX, you'll notice up front that this still retains the hourglass design for the grille. However, there is no separation or surround for it. I think it gives it a much cleaner look. There's the horizontal bars right in the middle, along with plenty of cutouts. There's also parking sensors and a forward-facing camera that is nicely hidden away in the upper section there. Now, just above that for this upper grille, there is a sensor just underneath the Lexus badge for the adaptive cruise and all of that tech. And then of course this has a set of LED headlights, DRLs, and turn signals. And the DRL makes its way into the lower section of the surround for that upper grille. So it's nicely incorporated, gives it a very nice thin design all the way to the headlight housings. Now in the lower section, there's gloss black trim along with the LED fog lights, and then plenty of cutouts in that lower section there, along with some gloss black just to really tie it in. And there's a few lines that come down that hood to give it a great look. Now as we work our way to the side, this F Sport has a set of 22-inch wheels with a very nice two-tone design to them with the black and gray accents. F Sport badge is just behind that. This has gloss black on the side mirrors that also have the camera and a turn signal. Up top, there's the gloss black roof racks, and then there's some more black trim surrounding all of the windows, and then very nice fender flares, both front and rear, with some indentions just above that. Now there's also some great lines running in the lower section of the door there, as you can tell. And then there's a two-tone design for the door handles with the black on the top and bottom. Everything is gloss black in this back pillar just to tie in nicely with the rear glass. Third brake light is up top in the body-colored spoiler. There's the wiper blade. Lexus is also spelled out in the power liftgate, where you'll notice that that bar runs right through the power liftgate itself with the LED lights, of course. There's a backup camera with all these sensors, and then some more accents in that lower section. This can even tow right around 5,000 pounds. So if you need a practical SUV that can tow some smaller trailers, this is definitely a great option to go with. And then you can use the button on the key fob or the one up underneath to open up the power liftgate. Where we have the third row currently up, you'll notice there's actually a decent amount of space with the back seats up. There's also a 3-prong outlet, a little bit of storage underneath the floor if you need to utilize that. And then the third row is power operated. So just push on one of these buttons one time and you can fold them down and put them back up. Of course, with both of these seats down, that gives you a lot more interior space to make it much more practical for any items that you may need to place in the back. And there's also an area where you can put the cover as well. So you can latch it up front. You do need to have the third row down in order to use that. And then you can have that privacy shade installed if you need to. So let's work our way to the interior now, where you will notice too that we have the proximity door handles, but the door handles themselves are fixed to the bodywork. So use the electronic button on the inside and you can gain access to the interior, where this does have the manual sunshades that you can adjust, leather for the armrest there. We have the manual release, but if you just push on that, that is the electronic release. There's the window adjustments, a little bit of storage down below. And then for the second row for this model, we have the captain's chairs with a great design to them. They do slide forwards and backwards, and this is how you can gain access to the third row very quickly. So just push on that and the headrest will move forwards, and then you can slide the seat forwards too. And at 5'10", In the back here, I actually have a good bit of space. You can recline and incline the seats. There's cup holder storage space. We have the armrest as well. Large windows on both sides. And then as far as headroom goes, I have around an inch or so, half inch above my head. So actually I could be very comfortable in this third row. If I needed to ride around town, it's only large enough for 2 people in the back, but you have very large additional seats for the third row, which is nice. And then I can quickly hop out, which is great to see. And then once we lock that seat back, it will not slide all the way back. So from there, we just need to pull the lever on the side, and then we can slide the seat all the way back, so you can adjust that as needed. They do recline and incline as well. And as far as the second row seating goes, it's what you would expect. There's storage pockets behind both front seats. These are even heated and ventilated. We have all the climate adjustments, storage down below with some more auxiliaries, 2 cup holders in the middle too, and you can even remove these if you need a little bit more space. So they just lock into place there, which is nice. We do have the ability to completely remove this, it looks like, just by unlatching that. And then as far as my headroom goes here, I have half a foot or so with the seat a little bit reclined. So this is really where you want to be. We also have the adjustable armrest too that you can use as needed. Definitely plenty of space, and you'll notice too that all of the air vents are in the side of the headliner too. No moonroof or sunroof for this model. I'm not sure if that is an option or not. And as we work our way to the front door panel now, you'll notice we have an addition of some suede on the back section there. All of the window adjustments, side mirror controls, which are power folding, and then tons of storage space down below, along with the F Sport badge. F Sport badge is also in the headrest for up front, where we have a similar design for these automatic seats. And then looking at the steering wheel now, we have solid and perforated leather with the F Sport badge down below. On this left side, there's volume and Bluetooth controls, and then some other controls for the gauge cluster screen. On the right side, all of your cruise and adaptive cruise control settings, along with mode and tuning. This even has paddle shifters too. Well, let's start this back up. You will not actually hear it start up, aside from the normal chimes. And then with the digital gauge cluster coming to life, on the left side, there's the EV driving ratio currently pulled up, miles per hour in the middle. Right side, there's some additional information for that battery system. So as you can tell, it's about half charged right now. This is not a plug-in, so the vehicle will actually charge it as you drive it more. And then if I use the controls on the left side of the steering wheel, I will scroll over to 3, where we have a different configuration where you can monitor some more of that info. We can go to 1, where there's drive info on that right side. You have your total average on the left side, and then we can go back to 2 here. You can't actually scroll up or down for any of these, so you basically just have these 3 screens that you can look at, which is still helpful to have to monitor all of that information. Then on this left side, there's a little bit of storage down below. We have memory seating controls, your fuel cap and liftgate release, along with odometer and some dimmer switches. There's some gloss black behind the air vent there. And then as we work our way to the infotainment system, on this left side, everything is fixed. So there's navigation, shortcuts to music, along with phone. If you push on the car, we have some different driving modes to go through, along with seat controls. You can fold all of the seats just by pushing on that one button, which is very nice to see. There's driving assistance. Look at all the standard safety tech for this TX. You have your rear cross traffic alert, blind spot, intuitive parking assist. There is a lot that you can go through and configure. There's also an active sound control, so you can turn that on and off, trip information, energy flow, and then you can look at a few more of those vitals. Now, if we go into settings here, you have some various general information that you can scroll through as needed. So not a ton of info, but definitely very helpful for what is available. And in the lower section of the screen, we have the heated and ventilated seat adjustments, heated steering wheel. You can get into your climate to adjust all of that. You can even get into the rear climates, so you can further adjust those from the front seats. Now, if I turn the fan speed on, you will notice that the temperature dials are on both sides to adjust that. And then we even have off and a few other recircs. Now underneath that, there's the front defroster, power and volume for the radio, along with the mirror and rear defrosters. 2 air vents are right in the middle there, along with parallel parking and the view button. So with the 360 camera system, you can pull up this camera angle here, just a general depiction of what is around you before you start driving for the day. There's some more auxiliaries down below, along with wireless charging and a little bit of space. You can actually open that up to reveal a 12 volt and a lot more hidden space, which is neat to see. Now the cup holders up front are just like in the rear. You can actually unlock them and remove them if you need a little bit more space, and then you can easily lock them back into place. And then looking at the shifter, let's push it to the left and up. That is for reverse, so the backup camera will appear. Going into the opposite direction is for drive. So now we have the forward-facing camera. With it in drive, just pull it straight back, and that will put you into the manual setting, allowing you to use the paddle shifters there, and then park is just by pushing on that P. Now behind that, there's traction control, auto hold, along with this off-road setting and Christmas tree. So you can use that for off-road terrain situations. E-brake is just behind that. There's also the split design for the armrest, where you have a good amount of space. And then plenty of space in the glove box. More of that suede is just above that. And then you'll notice too, on this left side, we have the headlight and fog light adjustments, turn signal of course, and then the wiper blade stock on that right side. There is a sunglass holder up top, so you can use that as needed, along with the dome lights behind that. And as far as visibility goes, even with this being a 3-row SUV, the windows are quite large in the back. So it's definitely easy to see over both shoulders. As we set off now behind the wheel for the all-new TX500h F Sport, this is a really cool brand new 3-row SUV from Lexus that not only offers a lot of space, but it also offers several different packages just depending on what you would like to go with. I was able to check out the 350 a while back, but now we're in the top trim level with this F Sport, and you can get 2 different F Sports. You can get a premium or a luxury as well. And I've been very impressed with the amount of power that this vehicle has. It doesn't seem crazy quick, but it can definitely get up and move, especially for its size. I think it has a very adequate amount of power if you're looking for something that just has that extra bit, especially when you compare it to some of the lower trim levels. But for this all-new 3-row Lexus, it is a very nice vehicle. It's just over $70,000 for this particular model. But again, if you go with the 350, that's going to cost significantly less. But for this model, I think it's very nice. One thing from Lexus as well is you're not going to get an overkill of technology. I think this has a perfect amount for the person who is just looking for all the daily driving necessities without a million different settings for everything to go into. So I love the layout of this. It's super easy to use. And with a mild acceleration, we're up to speed. So again, power is definitely great in this. But this drives very nice. It's so smooth, very comfortable to drive. It's quiet on the inside too. So it's well refined, as you would expect from a luxury brand like Lexus. And the fact that we now have that 3rd row with tons of space behind the 3rd row when those seats are up just gives you that much more practicality for the sizing of this vehicle. It is large, but it's also easy to drive at the same time. And in sport mode 2nd gear, here we go. Paddles are very responsive as well. So it's nice to see that. As soon as you tap that paddle, you are into the next gear. So they're actually very responsive for this model. Being the F Sport model, it is nice to see that we have some sporty characteristics to this. Now, even though it is the F Sport model, it doesn't mean it has any more power or anything, but it is definitely a very quick vehicle for sure. And so this is what it's like to be behind the wheel now for this TX500. For the cost, $70,000, I think it is a nice interior, but we do have some plastics on the dash there. We also have some nice materials too. So I think it's a good combo with everything, just the layout of it too. And it's super smooth to drive. Very easy to go through the tech features that are available. So nothing's overcomplicated. If you are looking for a vehicle that you just want to drive, you want a luxury brand, but you don't want a million different bells and whistles. As we merge in with traffic, it has a healthy amount of power. So definitely a good option to go with if you're looking for a luxury brand. You also want a 3-row that has a lot of space. I really do like how the back seats work as far as the maneuverability of them and just the additional storage that you can get. That is going to wrap it up for the all-new 2024 Lexus TX500h F Sport. Once again, huge shout out to Hendrick Lexus Northlake for providing this for me today. Check out their website, give this video a huge thumbs up, and consider smashing that subscribe button so you don't miss out on our daily uploads. And I will see you all in the next video.